Welcome back to the Turn on the Music podcast. My name is Kyle. We have another artist spotlight this week. We've got Billy Strings tonight. And we got CJ here to talk about it. How are you, sir?
Good, good. How about yourself?
I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
I'm very itchy.
Okay.
So, was it last week? I don't remember what day it was. I can look it up in my text, but I went to let the dogs out, and I saw stuff flying around in the air, and I was like, what in the world is that? I had like 10 bats flying around in my backyard. So
Okay.
I'm a dork, and I sat outside and watched the bats fly around, not realizing that they're probably eating mosquitoes, and my legs are just like a giant mosquito bite. It's disgusting.
Sucks.
So
Do you have a bat home?
So I do now. My sister bought one for my mom years ago, and right around the time COVID happened, and we thought that the bats caused COVID.
Right.
So she never put it up. And then she started reading about it, and like the bat poop is bad for the dogs, and she didn't know where to put it. So she gave it to me after I saw the bats. But I'm in the same position because like if bat poop is bad for dogs, I got 3. So I'm thinking about putting it on the house over here. Yeah, guano. So I'm thinking about putting it on the front side of the house, but on the side.
Yeah.
So that I can have bats.
Guano bills. Collect the whole set.
That's right. That's such a good movie.
It was? Oh, my God. But, yeah, because it's funny because I've been seeing them fly around a little bit here, and I'm like, I love the fact that we have bats on Long Island. Everybody's like, we do? I'm like, we totally have bats on Long Island.
Yeah.
They're all over the place.
Yeah.
I was thinking of putting a bat home over here, but I know my neighbor's going to be like, why? Eat the mosquitoes.
Yeah.
Ah.
But I haven't seen them since, so.
Maybe no more mosquitoes.
Maybe.
Maybe they ate them all.
I doubt that. So, how are you?
Doing all right. It's the weeks go so slowly. With work and everything like that.
Yeah.
But not bad. The weather's been okay. It's been a little on the humid side. Like if there was just a cool breeze, it'd be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the 80s, but the breeze it needs a little cool breeze. That's all we need.
Gotcha.
But otherwise, doing work and that's about it.
Okay.
I feel like that's all that I'm doing.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching. So I think I've told you I've gotten into like budgeting recently, and I've become a giant nerd about budgeting. And I was watching, like I watch people budget their stuff, and like at the end of the month they always go through their things, and they're like, oh well, today I went to see this like marching band concert in Scotland where I live, and I was like, this month I bought an HDMI cable. Like that's all I did. Like I paid my bills and I bought an HDMI cable. And that was it. I was like, well, that's kind of depressing. So.
Well, I mean, I think, there's budgeting and there's, enjoying oneself.
Right. Yeah. But like, I had no desire to enjoy myself this month. So,
I mean, like I spent a little bit much this month, but I probably won't again for like a couple months because that's what I tend to do. I tend to spend and then like don't do anything for a while.
Yeah.
So that's too funny.
Are you listening to anything good? Anything new? Anything different?
Not really. Have I listened to anything different? No, I'm on the audiobook. Music-wise, because the weather's been warm, I haven't really opened up the windows, But my son's been listening to Black Coffee, that DJ.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And, so I've been hearing some of that stuff. And he's now very much into Aretha Franklin.
Okay.
Which he found on his own. And then he found Whitney Houston, and now he's like excited about her. So, and he's learning about he's going to the library and getting books on these musicians, and he wants to learn about them.
Cool.
Which is cool. So I outside of me not choosing what to listen to, I'm listening to stuff that I listened to when I was growing up because my son's into it now.
Gotcha.
So it's not that I'm not listening to anything, but it's just nothing. I haven't put on Corey Wong lately, or I haven't put on Nickel Creek, which I do want to do. Get back to that.
Well, this is a good transition into our artists, because Nickel Creek and Billy Strings, similar genre, style, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. What about you? Have you listened to?
I've been on Billy Strings, actually. His stuff is really, really good. It's a lot of fun.
But he doesn't have a lot because he's only been.
No, doesn't. He's on the new side, and the other thing is, like, he's one of those guys, like, in like this bluegrass community is such a tight knit group. Like, everyone plays with everyone. Like, he's played with Chris Steele. He's played with Bela Flack. Like, he's played with all these, your Stuart Duncan and your, all these guys. So it's just because he doesn't have, like, his own stuff, like, doesn't mean he hasn't played on, like, lots of records, because he has.
Right.
So,
which is how we found a lot of the musicians that we've spoken about over the past few weeks. Was because they've played with somebody else, and we're like, oh, let's check them out.
Yep. So. All right. Shall we get into Billy Strings?
Let's get into Billy Strings.
Billy Strings. So he was born in 1992 on October 3rd. So that makes him almost 32. He'll be 32 in October.
He's so young.
I know. Father died of a heroin overdose when he was less than 3.
That's nuts.
Yeah. And then his mother married a bluegrass musician named Terry Barber, who he refers to as his father. However, the parents became addicted to methamphetamines in his teens, and Billy left the home at the age of 13. And he began using some rather heavy drugs at that point.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
13 years old.
Yep. And then he became California sober shortly after that. So he's...
Okay. That's what they called it, California Sober?
California Sober. It's also one of his songs.
But is it like... I've actually never heard that term before.
I haven't either until I saw it. So...
And what is it? Do you know? Did you?
So it's he uses light drugs and no alcohol. So cannabis and like psychedelic type stuff.
So I guess I would never really heard it unless someone's spoken to me about it or I was in California.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yep. His stepfather's been a big influence on his bluegrass journey. So he's introduced him to people like Doc Watson and Del McCoury and David Grisman, Bill Monroe, John Hartford, Ralph Stanley, Earl Scruggs, and Larry Sparks. But Billy is influenced by Jimi Hendrix, who we've talked about a number of times, Johnny Winter, and then here's where it goes off the wall: Widespread Panic, Phish, Grateful Dead, Def Leppard, Between the Buried and Me, and Black Sabbath.
Wow.
That's
you
can hear some of that in his stuff. It's it's a very unique style of bluegrass. Yeah, it is. And speaking of unique things, I found just going back to our episode last week about Kingfish. I found an interview with him and Marty Schwartz. Marty Schwartz is a guitar YouTuber who teaches people how to play guitar over the internet. And he interviewed Kingfish, and he was asking Kingfish like what's next? What kind of style are you pursuing? He's like, I kind of want to be like a cross between Jimi Hendrix and Barry White. I was like, that's interesting.
Did Barry White play any instruments? I don't remember.
No, like the singing part of Barry White. He says, I want to play like Hendrix and sing like Barry White.
Does he have a voice?
And then fuse those two things together.
Does he have a voice to do that?
He's going to give it a shot.
Because it doesn't sound like he can go low enough.
But the style, the
style I understand. So he's not talking about depth of voice. He's talking more style. Okay. Because I was going to say, if he can pull that off.
Combining Jimi Hendrix and Barry White, that's kind of nuts.
That is nuts.
So Billy Strings is not his real name. We talked about this last week. His last name is Apostol, and his aunt gave him the nickname Billy Strings because she saw how many bluegrass instruments he could play, mostly stringed instruments. So
that's cool that he got his nickname from somebody else, especially his aunt.
Yeah. So he plays, mandolin and banjo and all this sort of stuff, guitar, obviously. So, nominated for 6 Grammys and 1 Grammy for the album Home in 2021. So we're going to jump into some music. He's got, 6 albums. And then a live album, which I didn't put on here, but so we'll get into some music and talk about some of his stuff. I'm excited to get to the last album because it's kind of a cool thing that he did. But we'll start with the first album, which is called Fiddle Tune X, and the first track is called Beaumont Rag.
All right, check this one out.
So that's just an instrumental tune, just crazy playing. This has also got Don Julian, who I believe is on the mandolin.
So is that not a live album?
That is a live album. I didn't realize it's not listed as live. So when I first listened to it, I didn't realize it was live until I.
Right. It doesn't say. Live,
I don't remember if the whole thing is live or it's just some tracks are live. I can't remember.
I mean, it could just be the people that they were recording with.
No, there's definitely an audience in there.
Yeah.
I can't remember if the whole album was live though.
Let's see.
I listened to it last
you
week. So
as we play the next song, I'll see if I can find any information on it.
Okay. Next track is called "Walk On Boy."
I was born one morning, the rain came pouring down. Well, I heard my mama say to my papa, let's call him John Henry Brown. Walk on board, walk on down the road. Well, there ain't nobody in the whole wide world that's gonna help you carry your load. Well, I left my mom and papa just about the age of 10, and I got me a job working on the levee, toting water for the hard-working men. Walk on board, walk on down the road. Well, there ain't nobody in the whole wide world gonna help you carry your load.
So the downside to listening to stuff while I'm at work is I don't always know what I'm listening to, and as the albums change, they all look like one giant like mush in my head. Because I'll put the whole thing on for the whole day. So what'd you find out?
So this is from Bluegrass Unlimited, which apparently is a magazine.
What's that?
There's
What's a magazine?
Exactly. So it's a no label, no number on the album. It is so they state it is recorded live, which is why the recording is not the best recording. But they said what saves it is the technical skill level of the performers: Billy Strings on guitar and lead vocals, and Don Julian on mandolin and occasional harmony.
It does kind of sound like a bootleg recording.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. It's not really
like it's not coming off the board. It sounds like someone in the audience with a mic.
It sounds like propped up like 2 or 3 mics and that was it, or one mic and that was it.
Yep.
Yeah, but and then they go on to talk about the intensity. It's the intensity of the performance that makes it a good recording. So like you played Belmont Rag. They said that one opened them. Pearly Gates, Poor Ellen Smith, and Little Maggie they're that intense and that fast.
Yep. Yeah, thumbs up there.
Because I went like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine doesn't work, apparently.
Did you update?
I thought so.
Let me see if I wave. Hold on. Does it work? No, it's just a thumbs up. That's too funny.
Oh, you know why? Because I'm going through OBS probably.
Oh, that's possible. Yeah, that's a good point. Right.
That's probably why.
So yeah, that was Fiddle Tune X.
Yeah. Turmoil and Tinfoil is the next album. We'll play that song in a different album, but this first song is called On the Line.
You can't stop us from moving. You can't stop us from feeling fine. You can't stop us from putting our lives on the line. You can't stop us from dancing. You can't stop us from feeling high. We can't help it if we'd like to stay out all night. It's a cure for the bleakness. It's a pill for the day-to-day. It's just a way for me to shake loose the dust and the clay. I'd love to show you, but you wouldn't go. I'd love to take you, but I know the way you roll. You see it your way, I see it mine, and I'll be fine. You see it your way, I see it mine, and I'll be fine.
Such crazy playing.
It is. Ugh. And it's interesting because this is his debut album, they call it.
Yeah, because the first one wasn't really, it was
an
album, but it wasn't really an album.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that most of the stuff on the Fiddle Tune X ones are all like actual fiddle tunes and not like his own stuff.
Right.
So
I just think it's funny how there's misinformation out there. So this just goes to show you that Wikipedia states that Turmoil and Tinfoil is the 3rd studio album. But like if you go to his site, it says it's his debut. So were there albums before? Probably. But they don't. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Always do your research. Don't go to Wikipedia.
Well, I would say don't trust Wikipedia, but verify it somewhere else.
Right. Okay, that's a better way.
Decent stuff.
All right. Fine.
So.
Don't go to Wikipedia.
Hater.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how to say this next one because I'm from New York and I don't know that I can say the word that's in here properly. So this is Meet Me at the Crick. or is it creek?
It's creek.
But from around here, they say crick.
Meet me at the creek.
They say crick out here, though.
Are you sure?
Listen, I'll go over to my neighbor right now and ask her what it says. She'll say crick.
Sure, that's not like. Hi, I'm from out here, Midwest.
Well, that's my point. Like I'm from New York. I would say creek.
Let's say
where I'm living currently, they would say crick.
Let's say.
It's like, yeah, I know how to say the word. I'm saying that in this area, they would say crick. It's like out here, like my driveway is cement, but they would say cement. When it rains, I use an umbrella. They say umbrella.
It's the emphasis of the word.
Yes.
Of the beginning of the word.
So, meet me at the small body of water that flows.
A creek.
So what do you think about his voice? Do you think he sounds like this when he was in his 20s, I guess?
No, I was going to say he has a very mature voice.
Yeah. Really very similar to the Kingfisher we were talking about last week, where he sounds a lot older than he really is.
So before you go on,
yeah,
I can't hear it.
I can hear it.
You can hear it?
I can hear it.
You can hear crick and crick?
Yep.
Creek and crick?
Mm-hmm.
So apparently you can say it both ways.
Yes.
That's interesting. Because I was looking at the spellings. One is K-R-E with the, I think that's an umlaut. I can't see because it's very small. Or K-R-I-K, crick.
Crick.
How come you can hear it and I can't hear it?
I don't know.
That's too funny. Anyway, so, yeah. All right. I will accept my defeat.
Okay.
Did you know that?
I assumed.
Listen, I don't assume anything when it comes to languages because we know what.
That's right. All right, so the title track is called of this album is Turmoil and Tinfoil, but this is on a different album. This is on an album called Our Vinyl Sessions, and Turmoil and Tinfoil.
said you're sorry. I forgive you even then, but I feel consequential in the current state I'm in.
I love this music so much. I never thought I would ever like this stuff, but I love it.
As long as it's not considered country.
I saw some of his stuff listed as country.
Well, they do that to. I think they do that to put it out to more listeners.
I agree. But
I think they do, but I understand. I understand that. But
yeah.
that was a cool song. Like the notation in it was cool.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Yeah, this stuff is just so cool, and like, and it, it goes back to the book that we talked about with Victor Wooten. When he was talking to Michael about bluegrass stuff, and he goes, "Oh, it's just easy. It's just 1/5, 1/5, 1/5," and Michael's like, "No, there's a lot more to it." And when you start sitting there and listening to like just the rhythms that are being played, and the way the notes are being played, the detail that's going on, like there's so much more to just. There's just 1/5, 1/5.
Right.
It's not.
Right.
There's so much more. So, all right. This is off of his Grammy Award-winning album called Home. This first song is called "Away from the Mire." And were you the one that didn't know what mire was? There was a saying, something about being stuck in muck and mire, and someone didn't know what mire was.
No, I didn't. That wasn't me. I've heard that saying before.
Who it was. All right.
Yeah.
So anyway, away from the mire and not the muck.
Seemed like we'd face the world on our own. Before we collide, can we just take a moment collecting reflections of this and remember the past that we chose? Spring light to us this year again. Can't stand to face the fear again. You could always laugh about those things. It's enough to make a man feel sour, earning minutes every day by the hour, just to end up gone like everything else. Drowning a sorrow that's long been at rest. The past is a hell, it can creep up inside you, so let me remind you of this.
When I first heard this song, I thought it was in something. I don't know. I haven't found whether it was in like a show or something or a movie. So maybe not. But it sounded familiar the first time I heard it, and I don't know why it sounded familiar. But
no, I understand what you're saying. It does have that feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Holding.
Something about well, the video is an animated video.
Mm-hmm.
And it says something about Adult Swim.
Oh, I don't watch Adult Swim though, so.
Yeah, so that would have been, yeah.
All right.
Interesting. Now I want to know.
Next song was called Taking Water.
Nothing lost and nothing found. Friends and loved ones falling down. Can't you hear that mournful sound? Nothing left but memories, things I still can't stand to see. There's an empty spot in me where my hometown used to be. This old boat is taking water, it won't be long till it goes down. Had enough to push us over, time to turn the wheel around.
So I think the songs on this album sound different than the previous ones, but I don't know how to explain how they're different. Because they still got that like fiddle tune kind of sound to them, but they've got like kind of like an element of like country in there, like more so than normal.
There's
like
a little
less,
rock in it.
Yeah, it's almost like they put like the different genres on a slider, like a mixing board slider, and they kind of like turned the bluegrass down a little bit and
Right.
up the other stuff.
Which could be the reason why it won the Grammy.
It could be.
Because of how
That's kind of what I was getting at.
Yeah, how it blended everything together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I was thinking the same thing. I felt a little more rock in it, or like even though it was bluegrass, and I know there's the banjo and there's this, it was more guitarish in a sense.
Yeah.
Like not the, like there's like rock, a little bit of folk rock, like that type of thing. Yeah. No, I totally agree with you.
Okay. Well, it's not me.
No, it's, well, I mean,
Well,
you
obviously
don't
it's me.
push it.
All right, 2021. This album's called Renewal, and this is called Know It All. Oh no,
He's messed up.
I made it 7 songs at least. Better than last week.
True.
So.
Well, all I know is everything I've learned, and if I'm changing, that's the reason that I'll turn into someone I can trust, or I'll turn back into dust. There's an answer, but I wouldn't be concerned. Out of everything I've seen and all I've heard, and everywhere I've been around the whole wide world, there's still something I can't find. I've been lost within my mind since you fell out of my sight without a word. Well, I thought I knew it all till I crashed into the wall. Let me learn from my mistakes and try to pick up all the pieces. Well, the night we met, I thought you were the one. Yes, and when you left, I nearly came.
And this is kind of back to the roots, you know,
Right.
the standard fiddle tune sound.
Well, it's a renewal.
It is. Yep. Yep. All right, next track is called In the Morning Light.
So in the morning when I see her in the light, she comes through to me in any kind of weather. And I know I'll never see a brighter day when she smiles with her eyes. And even with a clouded heart chock full of doubt, she can sing away the worry of rejection. She's a wonder to behold. I'll love her till I'm growing old, and that's the plan. But if I could find more that's worthy Not sure that I deserve the love that I receive, but I give it all to her. Captivating when she moves across the floor. I remember what it is I came here for, and it seems so easy now, I can't believe it, but somehow I've made her mine. Every now and then the past will ring.
So have you listened to this outside of like tonight at all?
Not really, no.
Okay. I was just curious because I was thinking, this fly is driving me nuts. Thinking about like the way that this was recorded, going back to comparing a little bit to Nickel Creek. Nickel Creek is very much traditional, one microphone kind of in the middle.
Right.
Based on what I've heard both tonight and listening during the week, it sounds like everything's individually mic'd to me. I could be wrong, but I hear more detail in the picking of his stuff than I do in like Nickel Creek and stuff like that.
Right.
So I'm wondering if that's just a difference in the style and what he prefers. So just kind of a curiosity kind of a thing.
And it's funny because I was thinking that had a very Nickel Creek feel to it.
It did.
And I was wondering if it was written by Chris Thile.
Could be.
Did you know he was on Power Station by Corey Wong?
Yes.
Are you not?
Yep.
Thanks for telling me.
Okay. I think there might even be a Corey Wong podcast episode with Billy Strings. I'm pretty sure there is.
I was just looking to see if we could find out if like his songs are on any of the movies or anything like that, because you were talking about that. But you don't I don't think you watch this stuff for you to have been able to figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to. Yeah, it's High Note. He has a song on the Hunger Games, the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, music from and inspired by, and he has a song in there, but it's not. It's called the Cabin Song or Cabin Song.
Okay.
So, but it's like we were talking about earlier. He's been on a lot of albums.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a Willie Nelson, long story short, Willie Nelson 90 live at Hollywood Bowl. And he opens, I don't know if he opens, but based upon this, he's the first two songs. So it's very interesting how he's played so many places, and we're just hearing about him.
Yeah, and like if you look at like his listens on Spotify, he's got a lot of stuff over a million listens. Mm-hmm. So,
and when I say we're just hearing about him, it's just that you would think even after winning a Grammy for an album, he'd be more out there.
Yeah,
but it just shows to show you how mainstream
Grammy.
Radio plays.
It's the one that's not showed on TV. It happens during the commercial break.
Right.
And I don't watch the Grammys anyway, so
I don't watch them either.
So yeah.
Call me a bad musician, but I don't watch it either.
Yeah.
Oh, he was on my Bluegrass Heart with Bella Fleck.
Yes, on Vertigo, I think.
I'm gonna go find out right now. Hold on.
But he plays on the track with Chris Steele. It's Slippery Eel.
Slippery. I'm gonna see. Are you guessing now?
No, It's the Slippery Eel one.
Slippery Eel. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Huh. Interesting. All right.
Vertigo's the opening track.
Yes.
But he's on Slippery Eel.
Very cool.
So the next album is the really interesting one. So this one is called Me and Dad. And this is an album that he did with his stepfather. So his stepfather, Terry Barber, is the one that kind of introduced him to the bluegrass stuff. So he plays guitar with him. And the first song is called John Deere Tractor. And when I was reading about the album, they said that the harmonies in this John Deere Tractor, the vocal harmonies, are just killer, and they really are. Just the way they lock together, it's so good. So this is called John Deere Tractor. Oh man, hang on. This is called John Deere Tractor.
mama, here's a letter from your son. Well, I guess my city days are done, Mom, and it ain't been 3 weeks since you came. Hey, Mama, I do remember what you said. Say your prayers before you go to bed, son. And remember, city women ain't the same. I'm like a John Deere tractor in a half-acre field. I'm trying to plow a furrow where the soil is made of steel. Oh, I wish I was home, Mom, where the bluegrass is growing and the sweet country girls don't complain.
Such great harmonies.
It sounds like more voices than those two.
Does.
How they are so good.
Yep.
That's impressive.
Yep.
Yeah.
And this has got some like really great bluegrass legends on, like Michael Cleveland on the fiddle, and just so many good musicians on this album. So this next one's called "Long Journey Home."
All my money but a $2 bill, $2 bill, boys, $2 bill. Lost all my money but a $2 bill. I'm on my long journey home. There's black smoke rising and it looks like a train. Looks like a train, boys, looks like a train. Black smoke rising, Lord, it looks like a train. I'm on my long journey home. I lost all my money but a $2 bill, $2 bill, boys, $2 bill. Lost all my money but a $2 bill. I'm on my long journey home. Out in the east and looks like some rain. Looks like some rain, boys, looks like some rain. Out in the east and it looks like some rain. I'm on my long journey home. Lost all my money but a $2 bill, $2 bill, boys, $2 bill. Lost all my money but a $2 bill. I'm on my long journey home.
Sorry, I lost Spotify.
No, that's okay. It was good.
I was thinking, you ever see the Simpsons episode where Homer becomes the manager of Lurleen Lumpkin?
No.
Oh, so it's a really good. So he meets this like country singer and becomes her manager, and her name is Lurleen Lumpkin, and I forget who actually does the voice for her, but it's a famous musician. And later there's another episode that comes back later on, and her dad is a ham bone artist. So like what the only thing I'm missing in this is like the ham bone part. So let me see if I get the ham bone part. Here it is.
There's only one man who can handbone like that. Daddy!
That's the only thing that was missing from that track was someone ham-boning during the whole thing.
That's too funny. So he's on tour right now,
Yes.
and his August 10th, he's in Washington State.
Mm-hmm.
He's playing with Willie Nelson,
Mm-hmm.
Bob Dylan, John Mellencamp, and Brittany Spencer. Brittany Spencer, I don't know what kind of music she is, but like, what a weird mix of musicians. In a good way, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, not in a bad way. That's so funny.
So I threw two more on here from his live album that just came out recently. We played a little bit of this one last week, but this is the opening track to the live album called Dust in a Baggie. It talks about drugs and getting arrested for being on drugs and dealing drugs.
I ain't slept in 7 days, haven't eaten 3. Methamphetamine has got a damn good hold of me. My tweaker friends have got me to the point of no return. I just took the lighter to the bulb and watched it burn. This life of sin has got me in. Well, it's got me back in prison once again. I used my only phone call to contact my daddy. Got 20 long years for some dust in a baggie. Well, if I would have listened to what Mom and Papa said, I wouldn't be locked up in prison, troubled in hell. But I took that little pop and sucked into my mind was spun. I got 20 years to sit and think of what I've done. This life of sin has got me in, but it's got me back in prison once again.
It's such a happy song about going to jail for doing drugs.
It's just it's that reminded me of Oh Brother Where Art Thou?
Mm-hmm.
Like it was that type of feel to it.
Yep. Yep. And one more
great.
quick one. This is called Dos Banjos.
The times have changed, the times have changed. Humanity has lost its way. The people now, how they survive, I don't know how. My mama said, make many friends, they'll give to you, you'll give to them. And care not for that money, son, just care for music, friends, and fun. The times have changed, the times have changed. Humanity has lost its way. The people now, how they survive, I don't know how. What will you do? What will you do?
So that's Billy Strings. He's got a YouTube presence as well as Kingfish did last week. So I encourage you to check out the YouTube stuff that's going to be in the show notes, his YouTube channel and all that stuff. So,
And join us.
hopefully another long career from Billy Strings.
Yes,
hopefully.
agreed. Join us Sunday, 7:30 Eastern.
Mm-hmm.
We'll probably play more of the albums.
Yes.
So, and the full songs that we played in this episode. And Kyle goes live on Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern on Twitch.
Yep.
So he never knows what he's going to play until the day of. So I
Nope.
can't even give it a heads up.
No. Lots of stuff comes out on Fridays, so
Well, no,
last week
that's-
it was
and that-
Corey Wong and Pat Metheny, and
Right.
I didn't know what to play. So
No, that's I think it's great. So if you're curious what's new and what's coming out that we're playing, Friday night's a good night to join.
yep.
Cool.
Thanks for listening. We'll do the usual link tree nonsense, push the buttons and
All that good
read
stuff.
the things and watch the things and stuff. So we'll see y'all next week. Thank you so much. Thanks for listening to the Turn on the Music podcast. Make sure you check our link tree in the show notes for our social media accounts. If you like what you heard, please share it with a friend. And we'd love it if you could give us a 5-star rating on your platform of choice. We'll see you next week. And remember, always share the music.